in order them to be prepared for labor market. And international development practitioners offer soft skill curricula to support youth in education and non-formal training programs. And this is also very important. We have degrees in our universities, in our schools, but non-formal training programs are also very important, are important for our students, but also for adults that are now working, and they need to be updated with these new skills. So let us compare the top 10 skills in 2020 and in 2015. So what we have here makes us understand that only in 5 years we have a lot of changes. So let's see that in 2015, the first top skill was complex problem solving. And this remains the #1 skill in 2020. But when we look at 2020 second top skill, now it's critical thinking. It's no longer coordinating with others. And the third one is creativity. So we understand that some skills are now more important than others. We understand that some skills were left behind, and all this must be transforming changes into curricula. This means that universities, higher education systems must understand that these new skills must be given to our students. So these top 10 skills in 2020 are a path for our future, for our degrees, for our universities. Take a look. Also have to learn how to learn, because the focus is on students nowadays. The focus is to give them the possibilities to be independent, to research information, to select information, to go ahead with this selection and to continue their work. So learning to learn helps young people rapidly gain skills and knowledge to adapt to changes and succeed. This skill is particularly important as the COVID-19 pandemic causes dramatic shifts in the work opportunities available. When it comes to learning performance, 40% is due to metacognition. This means organizing and guiding one's own learning processes, thinking, and actions. But most teaching methods do not prioritize these skills, as myths persist that learning relies on innate intelligence rather than on development skills and habits. So this is a major change. We must make sure that the highlight now is developing skills. Then skill #2 is learn to discern. So in a flood of information that we have today, because we are surrounded by information and information platforms, youth must discern what is factual and reliable. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, young people are weighing information, including misleading information about health risks. And this is a big problem. To make decisions about their careers, health information engagement skills are necessary for young people to learn effectively on their own and prepare to become resourceful employees, leaders, and entrepreneurs. So the World Economic Forum also highlights 4 skills that they understand to be vital for the future. First of all, futures literacy. So in general terms, literacy is simply the ability to read and write, although it may be intended with a broader and more insightful meaning, of course. It is time for our society to take another step forward to cope with this new challenge, becoming a more futures literate society. And this skill allows people to better imagine and make sense of the future. Skill number 2 is systems thinking. And almost all the challenges presented by the effects of COVID-19 relate to systems. So systems thinking is a mindset to think, communicate and learn about systems to make the full patterns clearer, improve and share the understanding of problems, and see how to face them effectively. Skill number 3, according to the World Economic Forum, is anticipation. And the anticipation skill requires us to learn how to recognize these possible futures and to use this augmented consciousness to shape our decisions and actions in the present. So this in practice means modifying our habits and behaviors to be better prepared for a continuously changing world. And skill number 4 is strategic foresight. So this is a big challenge, a huge challenge that requires new strategic thinking attitude for organizations and people to better understand change and the future, as we all be living and working in a future world that's different from today in significant ways. And of course, these are the 4 most important skills for our after COVID-19 World Economic Forum. So I would like to end this presentation by saying this. Skills, of course, is a complex world. Skills are very complex, and we must understand that in higher education, we have to make choices. And when we think about the degrees in higher education, the degrees in universities and polytechnics, we must understand that education, knowledge is vital, of course, but we also need principles, we also need values, and we need skills. This means that skills to develop, to observe, to teach, to understand, to have critical thinking are, of course, very important. Are very important for our teachers, are very important for our students, because we want our students to be extraordinary professionals, but also active citizens in their communities. And this is very important because universities, of course, train teachers, for instance, but also train citizens. They give the new professionals the possibility to go ahead with these values and principles to change and to work in their communities for the better good and for a better future. And this is my last message for this presentation. We must understand that education and technology are connected, skills and education are connected, but skills are also connected with values. And if we think that education as a whole is a mixture between knowledge, skills, and values, we truly are on track with our future, and we are on track with the right path for our students. So let us make our students better prepared for our future. Let us give them the tools to be better citizens, to be better persons. And this is absolutely vital because they are truly our common future. So thank you so much for paying attention for this presentation. And of course, if you have any questions, I would be delighted to answer them and dialogue with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. This was an extremely interesting presentation, short and to the point, I should say. I don't know if I have any questions. I can have a look at the chat. While waiting for the attendants to ask you if they have any questions, I would like to stress the fact that now educators are not called teachers anymore. We are called facilitators or mentors, because exactly we need to provide our students with the tools to learn. We don't teach them, we facilitate their learning. And I guess you understand that as well, you agree with this. And also, while I have, while attending several webinars on this topic, people keep saying that we need to teach students to help students learn about jobs that still don't exist. So this means that we do have a lot of things to learn in the future, and a lot of things to show to our students in order for them to be better prepared. This is what I had to tell you. I really liked your presentation. It was really what we needed to hear about the pandemic and how technology helped us go through it. And actually, the pandemic revealed the inadequacies of both teachers, educators, and students. I mean, the majority of educators, I believe, and students, especially from villages and rural areas, etc., were not prepared for this that was coming towards them. And they did a great work in order to learn and to teach and to facilitate learning and to, not stop the learning process. Thank you. Do we have any questions from the audience? You covered us all, I guess, Luis.
I think Mr. Verma would like to say something, Georgia.
Okay.
Mr. Rakesh Verma. Mr. Verma, are you there? Okay, Louis, let me just, the last slide that you had shared, where you'd written skills and there were lots of words. If we had to pick out 3 words in order of priority, out of all those wonderful words, all relevant to skills, but yet if we had to pick out 3 important ones, the first 3 ones, which we need to share with our learners, what would be those 3 words?
Well, dear Alka, this is a very difficult question, my dear friend. Words truly are 3 important lessons from this COVID-19 crisis. First of all, I would like to flexibility. We need to adapt. We need to be flexible. We are still having curricula that are very conservative, closed curricula that are based in procedures and points of view that still belong with the 20th century. So I agree with you, Georgia, when we say that we teachers now are, we are no longer that teacher from the Middle Ages portraits that arrives at school, that arrives at universities and dictates the lesson to the students, of course. Now we guide them. We are mentors. Yes, I truly agree with you. But the vocabulary that we use today is still conservative. The vocabulary we use in our degrees, in teacher programs, is still conservative. So this means we have to adapt. And this is the second word that I would like to give Alka. So adapt. We must adapt to these new challenges. So we must be flexible. We must understand the challenges, the needs of teachers, the needs of students, the need of employers. And then we must adapt our curricula, adapt our universities. And of course, we need, and this is the third one, we need more teacher training. And teacher training is, of course, vital because teachers were true heroes during this crisis. Teachers were vital. When students had a problem, to whom would they teachers. Teachers were there. Even with technology, teachers were there. Even with computers, with laptops, with smartphones, teachers were there. So we were there. So teachers are really heroes in this battle against COVID-19. Teachers are true heroes. Teachers are true heroes because they maintain classes at all costs. Teachers maintained the educational systems at all costs when everything was failing, when we had lockdowns, when we had sanitary problems, when we had the COVID-19 that was surrounding our students, the communities, the families. But we kept together. And of course, Alka made me select 3 words. Let me give you a 4th one, okay?
Okay.
Networking.
Yeah.
Networking is very important because Alka, this conversation that we are having now is extraordinary because we are exchanging some points of view, because we are sharing experience. Georgia has a problem in Greece.